afternoon, you're live on Kasi TV, and this is Weekly Retro with me, Salina Naikuya Abuajwa, streaming to you live from our studios inside Osu, Reverend Richard Street. You can join us on our social media handles at Kasi Television. Now, coming up, President Akufo-Addo has terminated the appointment of Mr. Ezenim Boatina as the CEO of the Public Procurement Authority with immediate effect. To bring you details of that story, as two police officers with the Tamale Panukpo Fio police station are fighting for their lives at the hospital after they were violently attacked by residents of the Paufio, a community in the northern region capital, Tamale, on Thursday, 5 November 2020. And the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has called for a review of the selection process for the National Best Farmer Award to make provision for smallholder farmers, fisher folk, the youth, and women. Bring you details of these stories and many others right after this. Please do stay. Welcome back, and now to the main bulletin. President Akufo-Addo has terminated the appointment of Mr. Ezenim Boatina as the CEO of the Public Procurement Authority with immediate effect. He has also been disqualified from holding public office for the next 5 years. This follows a report submitted to the President by the Commissioner of the Commission for Human Rights and Administration Justice, Mr. Joseph, which concluded that on the totality of the evidence, Mr. Ezenim Boatina had put himself in a position where his personal interests conflicted with the performance of his functions as CEO and board member of the PPA. It also stated that he abuses high office of trust. Suspending him, the President and Akufo-Addo also directed STRAJ and the Office of the Special Prosecutor to investigate his appointee to conflicts of interest and corruption. Having satisfied himself of the fact that recommendation made by STRAJ is properly motivated and well-funded, the President has expressed his appreciation and gratitude to Mr. Joseph and STRAJ for thorough and methodical manner in which the matter has been addressed. And now two officers with the Tamale police station are fighting for their lives at a hospital after they were violently attacked by residents of Baumufio, a community in the northern region capital Tamale, on Thursday, November 5, 2020. The victims are Lance Corporal Atu Adanu and Lance Corporal Samuel Mudzi. A third officer, Constable Baba Idrisu, as well as civilian identified only as Rashid, who led the police to the community to arrest a suspect, however, escaped the attack. They had gone there around 4:30 a.m. to arrest one Abdurrahman, who is said to be wanted in a case of stealing, which is under investigation by the Criminal Investigations Department of the Tamale Police. Meanwhile, police have arrested some 25 persons the community suspected to have played a role in the attack. 3 police officers have been attacked by some residents in the Paumufio of the northern region. According to reports, these 3 policemen were accompanied by a complainant only known as Rashid to arrest a suspect in a small community where they were being attacked. The suspect, Abdurrahman, was wanted for stealing after the complaints reported him to the Tamale police. Narrating the incident, the policeman said the officers had arrested a suspect and were heading back to the station when the attackers charged on them with sticks and cutlass. The officers, who were armed with only one AK-47 rifle, became defenseless when the attackers disarmed them, assaulted them, and fled with the suspect they had come to arrest. The complainants, who managed to flee the scene, called the police. However, upon reaching the scene, the attackers have fled, leaving the policemen in a critical condition. Meanwhile, the police have arrested 25 persons in connection to the attack and have successfully retrieved the rifle without ammunition. These arrested persons have been detained at the regional headquarters for interrogation. And now the Electoral Commissioner of Ghana, Jen Mensah, is reported to have once again failed to show up in Parliament when invited. She was expected to appear before Parliament to inform the House on how prepared the EC is as the election day is nearing.
The Minority Chief Whip in Parliament, Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, while speaking on the EC's absence Thursday, November 5, 2020, requested for her to be summoned before the House after the House awaited for her arrival for almost hours. He described the seeming attitude of the EC chair as disrespectful, stating that she had run over the House. The majority leader in Parliament, Osei Chen Mensah Bonsu, however, explained that Jane Mensah had conveyed an announcement about her journey from which she would be returning this afternoon. According to him, the commission received a letter of invitation to Parliament quite late at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, November 5, 2020, which was unfortunate because the EC officials had already had their planned programs and were unavailable. Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, is also reported to have suspended the sitting over the EC chair's absence. Meanwhile, Parliament is looking forward to having her on Saturday, November 7, 2020.
The leader was announcing this engagement. In fact, top of it was the electoral commission. Top on it was the electoral commission. And then others. Mr. Chairman, looking around, I can't see the EC here.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you could let me land. We cannot allow the EC to be doing this. It is not fair because we have raised this thing again and again. So she cannot tell us that she's coming today at 11 and all the others, including the National Security Minister and all the others are here and she's not here. Please, we are allowing her to run over us. Mr. Chairman, that is not fair. We need to be told where is she, and she must be summoned. She cannot refuse to appear before us. She has consistently avoided this house. It is not fair that we allow this to continue, Mr. Chair. We need to be told she has to be summoned to be here.
Thank you, Honorable Leader. But this comment is premature.
And now the Inspector General of Police, James Opon-Buenu, has noted that all policemen will be deployed on election day would be equally uniform. He stressed that none of the officers will be clad in mufti to work on December 7. Mr. Buenu furthered that the police service will not have any ununiformed officer on election grounds, making this known at a press conference in Wednesday, Accra, November 4, 2020. The IGP said the security personnel would be uniformed and properly identified. That is different from our normal operations where we need certain devices or categories of officers for the purpose of arresting criminals. Meanwhile, a total of 6,178 flashpoints have been detected ahead of the December 7 polls. Mr. Buenu noted that measures are being put in place to ensure that law and order is maintained for the country to have a peaceful, free and fair election.
On December 7, 2020, the global lenses will be focused on Ghana to evaluate the potency of our democratic gains. As chairman of the National Election Security Task Force, I pledge the unwavering commitment of the police and security services to make Ghana a country of peace. We are working tirelessly to ensure that the forthcoming elections are conducted in a peaceful atmosphere. All polling stations will be policed by uniformed personnel in regular uniforms. The support of the Ghana Armed Forces will be in the form of patrols and rapid response to curtail incidents of crime, including violent crime, vigilantism, and terrorism that could spring up before, during, or after the elections. Any person or group of persons who plan to cause trouble or disturbances in any part of the country should think twice, because they will be arrested and prosecuted. Intemperate, provocative, insulting language and such expressions in our media space violate the laws. We therefore urge journalists, bloggers, and media commentators to check the facts on whatever they want to say or write before they put it out.
And a 15-year-old junior high school graduate has been defiled and impregnated by her teacher at the Jumako Afransi, the Jumako Enyan district of the Central Region. The victim, name withheld, said that her teacher at the Jumako Afransi Junior High School, Esmos Kanikate, on the day they completed junior high school on 18th of September, organized a party for them in the school premises. She said later the teacher who stays near the school sent her to go and buy a bag of sachet water and bring it to him in his room. The victim continued that upon her return and handing over the item to the teacher, he suddenly grabbed and pushed her into the bed forcefully, inserted medicine in her and defiled her. She said the teacher covered her mouth with a cloth, which prevented her from screaming for help, adding that he threatened to kill her through spiritual means if she told anyone about her ordeal. According to the victim, out of fear, she decided to keep her ordeal to herself until about 3 weeks ago, when she suddenly started feeling unwell and having pains in her waist and was sent to the hospital, where the doctor told the parents that she'd been defiled and impregnated. The grandmother of the victim, Mami Efemansan, alleged that the teacher is fond of sleeping with students. The community adding that this is the 4th time the teacher had sex with the student, hence wanting prosecuted. She revealed that her pregnant grandchild is yet to recover from a strange disease she's contracted, even though she's taking medication. The Ejumako police station, which is handling the case, has given the suspect teacher bail pending further investigations. Now on politics, and the National Democratic Congress has announced a 3-day fasting and prayers for the nation ahead of the December polls. The party believes that the selection of a leader for the country has some spiritual connotation, an avenue which can only be achieved with the guidance of God. On the back of this, the party will embark on this exercise to God's divine intervention to halt this recent spate of armed robbery, killings, and other violent crimes that we are witnessing across the length and breadth of the country in the run-up to this year's election. In a statement signed by the national chairman, Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, the NDC said the event will begin on Thursday, November 5, 2020. Prayer meetings will also be held at the party's headquarters today and climax with a church service on the morning of Sunday, 8 November 2020 at the Royal House Chapel International in Accra. The event is themed, "The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but victory is in the hands of the Lord." Proverbs 21:31. And now on COVID-19, suggestions that Ghana could suffer a second wave of coronavirus infections may be gaining ground following the latest updates of the pandemic situation. The latest update from the Ghana Health Service indicate that active cases have seen a sharp increase to 947 after 145 new cases were identified. The number of active cases have been climbing steadily over the last couple of weeks from 589 to 620 and 819 to 877. The toll from the virus has remained 320 since October 26, 2020. Meanwhile, despite the steady rise in the active cases, the Ghana Health Service has downplayed the possibility of a second wave being experienced in some European countries. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaji, explained that the daily average of infections being recorded despite the steady rise shows that Ghana is in a safe spot. The latest coronavirus update released by the Ghana Health Service on November 5, 2020 shows that the cumulative case count since March stands at 48,788 with 47,521 recoveries. And now in business, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has called for a review of the selection process for the National Best Farmer Award to make provision for smallholder farmers, fisher folk, the youth and women. The association said they would reflect then diverse efforts of all farmers and the nation's quest to build a just and inclusive society. A statement issued in Accra, Bar Association commended the National Awards Committee for its work and urged it to expand their processes. The 2020 National Farmers' Day celebration is on the theme Agribusiness Development under COVID-19, Opportunities and Challenges. It said the association believes that the process could be improved to ensure that it reflected the current needs and challenges of the sector. PFAG and Ghana Federation of the Forest and Farm Procedures congratulated all smallholders farmers in Ghana, especially women, who were most impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. It was said that imperative to recognize that stakeholder group continued to be the essential engine propelling the supply of raw materials for industry while ensuring the availability of food commodities for the domestic and international market. It noted that historically medium and smallholder farmers and fisherfolk constituted about 83% of the 11.3 million farmers in Ghana, but they had never won the overall National Best Farmer Award. The statement said the use of the scale of production as a key metric in selecting the overall best farmer suffers the same curse as economic productivity as used in economic prolance, which has since evolved to be more inclusive, accounting for important socio-cultural dynamics. And still on business, government has given $130 million to the Electricity Company of Ghana to help the power generating firm replace its obsolete equipment to reduce power losses and ensure sustainable power generation. Mr. John Peter Amewu, the Minister of Energy, who made this known when he took his turn at the nation building update in Accra on Thursday, said it would ensure efficient transportation of electricity, add value to power generation, and ensure cheaper electricity supply to customers. He noted that the stable power supply Ghanaians are currently enjoying was due to interministerial and agency collaboration and placing competent people in the right position to deliver quality service, as well as the effective leadership provided by the President Nana Akufo-Addo. The minister used the opportunity to explain the state of the country's energy situation, the National Democratic Congress administration, and measures the current government instituted to ensure reliable and affordable electricity supply to consumers.
On this note, I want to say a very big thanks to Honorable Osafo Mafo for making this happen in collaboration with other ministers. You all know Osafo Mafo one time took us as of HIPIC, and so he's very experienced in taking people from difficulties. So I have no doubt when he was able to do this magic. Thank you. Next, the issue of excess capacity was talked about. We placed moratorium on new contracts. We said it. The minister was in Parliament to address and members of this House, and he made it categorically clear that there's a moratorium on issuance of new contracts. That also did the trick. Renegotiated domestic gas price. We said that earlier on. Next slide. The Jubilee gas, in 2008, Jubilee gas was priced at 0. Within the 4 years of NDC in 2016, they moved the gas price to 3, Jubilee. When we came back, we brought it down again to 0. This and many more were the reasons why we having the lights on. Having the lights on have nothing to do with generation. Having the lights on have nothing to do with negotiations at generation. Having the lights on have to do placing competent people at the right place to deliver. COVID-19 relief. Whilst other parts of this world were facing difficulties in how to address their energy situations, problems, in making sure that the lights are on, while within the COVID period, countries find it very difficult to turn on their lights. Under His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, further reliefs were given. And I think most of you gathered here might have enjoyed that relief. Even as I speak today, Those customers that are still on the lifeline are enjoying their relief up to December. This is possible, and it has been done possible because of good planning and with collaborations from the finance ministry.
And now in sports, the Ghana Football Association is pleased to announce Melcom Ghana Limited as a new partner. Melcom Ghana, a retail giant, has been operating in Ghana for more than 3 decades and now becomes the official partner of the GFA. Melcom Group is best known for its shopping mall, Melcom Limited. As Ghana's largest chain of retail department stores, Melcom offers thousands of products and hundreds of well-known brands. The Ghana Football Association welcomed the retail giant onto its fold. They join MTN, Intercity STC, Macron, Star Times, NASCO, Puma as partners of the association. The deal will be launched in the coming days by the parties. And still in sport, President of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okraku, has affirmed that the association has opened its doors to any foreign player with a Ghanaian heritage who is ready to naturalize and play for the Black Stars. Ghana has missed out on several foreign players with Ghanaian heritage, with a recent one happening with teenager Jeremy Doku, who chose to play for the Belgian national team ahead of the Black Stars. The GFA is currently in pursuit of Arsenal's Edwin Katia and former Chelsea defender Tariq Lamptey, who is making waves in the ongoing English Premier League with his stellar performance. Though some pundits are against this move by the GFA, Kurt Okraku has said that the Black Stars is for all Ghanaians and they will continue searching everywhere in the world to find the right talent for the country. And now in our entertainment news. The government is committed to revamping the tourism industry following the ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic. To this end, the government continues to ensure that industry players will continue to receive stimulus-intensive packages to caution them against the loss. The sector minister, Mrs. Barbara Otinjesi, renewed the pledge during a senior staff conference the Ghana Tourism Authority held in Takoradi. The 3-day conference was on the theme Beyond the Return and COVID-19, revamping the tourist industry. The conference, which was attended by all the 11 administrative offices in Ghana, deliberated on a clear-cut roadmap on how to revamp the tourism industry. Mrs. Otinjesi acknowledged the readiness of the industry players to follow guidelines on safety protocols to prevent the pandemic from escalating. The minister urged players in the industry to work hard to revoke the laws during the COVID-19 period. The Western Regional Director of Ghana Tourism Authority, Mr. George Nkrumah, said the conference was, among others, to encourage domestic tourism in the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak, the country making knowledge of the huge tourist potentials in the Western region and Ghana as a whole. Chief Executive Officer of the GTA, Mr. Akwesi Ajiman, said Senior Staff Association had always been a vibrant and supportive one, adding that its heartbeat would find ways to strengthen the already existing cordial relationship in the 10-year beyond the return project implementation of Single Window Project, the relaunch of the See Ghana, Eat Ghana, Wear Ghana, and Feel Ghana project. Mr. Ajima urged all senior staff members to join the crusade of amplifying Ghana to the outside world, a vision to bridge bridges, strengthen bonds, and lay the foundation of the future of Ghana and Africa. Still on entertainment, and President Akufo-Addo has reacted to the endorsement of his second-term bid by Sarkodie and Samini ahead of the 2020 election on December 7. Sarkodie and Samini came public on Monday, November 2, 2020, to endorse Akufo-Addo and his new patriotic party for a second term in office. Samini was the first to announce his support for Akufo-Addo by taking to social media to post his endorsement message on Monday, November 2, 2020. Later in the day, the dancehall artist released a song titled Poyaka for Akufo-Addo's campaign. The song talks about the president's achievements so far. Not long after, rapper Sarkodie also released a new song titled Happy Day, which features Kwame Yuji. While the Happy Day song can be generally described as a track to praise God, the versatile rapper was able to infuse political messages in it as he endorsed Akufo-Addo. Reacting to Samini's song, President Akufo-Addo thanked the dancehall star for what he described as a super endorsement. Earlier, the NDC flag bearer John Mahama reacted to Sarkodie and Samini choosing Akufo-Addo instead of him. In an interview, the former president said he still likes them despite them endorsing Akufo-Addo and his party.
Make him go on, don't try stop him. Make him go on, the girl them love him. Make it play, don't try stop him. Make it play, fans them love him. Oh no no yeah nah the Oshasia, no ya pada kitty. Any no, ni jendum de biara do. No, a man you not. You deserve all the glory, bro.
You know I used to put the blame on God. Now me mama turn force, but still I me pray turn forward. I feel na me hunya wonya me ya mama no go for try comport. Cause madam for na wonya dada bi, ne mama ne papa wo bi na wo turn jot. Wo wi ade ma ye che ne wo port. Me kai me di je mu ahyi ne gu abanso. Bampanyi ne fu so ka sembi. So woni pada se ni bia ho onenso. Yes me ne aban ne wo wantwi. Na se dum so bae na me kan ya. Inflation crash on me bosso. Inti ende se me da kanem na me mba be ko school free dia. Ene me tuche mama mo fa me born nche me na na to aso.
Everybody give glory.
Now on international news. The result of Tuesday's election hangs in the balance with counting still under the way in several key states. Democrat Joe Biden has a slender lead in Nevada and Arizona and is chipping away at Mr. Trump's advantage in Georgia. Mr. Biden has appealed for calm as the nail-biting count drags on. The cliffhanger follows one of the bitterest campaigns in living memory.
Speaking from the White House on Thursday, the president added, "We were winning in all the key locations, by a lot actually, and then our numbers started getting miraculously whittled away in secret and they wouldn't allow legally permissible observers." Mr. Trump's critics have pointed out his lead is evaporating because he actively discouraged his supporters from voting by mail, while Mr. Biden urged his voters to do so, and it is these postal ballots that are now being tallied in the key states. The president added, "There's been a lot of shenanigans and we can't stand for that in our country." Election analysts have argued that the president's claims of Democratic electoral corruption are undermined by the better-than-expected performance of his fellow Republicans in congressional races across the map. Some Republicans who have in the past raised rare dissent against the president implicitly criticized his latest remarks. Mitt Romney, the Utah senator who lost as the Republican presidential nominee in 2012, said, "The votes will be counted. If there are irregularities alleged, they will be investigated and ultimately resolved in the courts. Have faith in our democracy, in our Constitution, and in the American people." Also, without naming the president, Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger said, "If you have legit..."
And that will be all for this week's updates on Weekly Retro. For more news updates, you can log on to our social media handles at Kasi Television for more news updates. My name has been Salinana Ikuya Abuajo. A very big thank you to my production crew, to my makeup artist at Happy's Makeover, to my hairstylist, Afrojoy Naturals, and to you who watch me as well. See you same time next week. Have a great afternoon.